Everyone. I'm Subhana, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Engineering Department from SNS College of Technology. And today we are going to explore a very critical topic in cybersecurity, which is the firewall design. This is an important topic in email security also. But instead of jumping straight into the definition, we are just going to start with a real-time scenario to understand their pain point, empathize with the user, and then explore how different firewall designs help to prevent such cyber and email attacks. So let's begin our journey. So before we start, let's recap what we already know about the network security. We have seen how encryption protects data, how the attackers try to break the system, and how intrusion can affect the business operation. So we also know about the authentication header mechanism and also encapsulating the security payloads, which is the confidentiality and integrity. And here is the problem statement, which is an e-commerce intrusion. Imagine an e-commerce company. Everything seems normal until suddenly their server system shows intrusion attempts and some of their information is got modified. This is not just a technical issue. For a business that depends on trust, even a small intrusion can create a huge ripples. So let me empathize this problem. So let empathize with everyone who are involved in this situation. So first is the business owner will think about, is our customer data is in a safe state or not, and the security team will analyze where does this intrusion comes from, is it happen, is it still happening, and from the customer point of view they will think, is my personal and payment informations are secure, and from the developer and admin side we will think, they will think, did a misconfiguration cause occurs due to this, did we leave a security gap. So when information gets modified, the impacts go beyond technology. It affects the trust, revenue, and also the brand reputation. Next, let me understand the challenge. So let's break down what challenge this e-commerce company is experiencing. They are experiencing unauthorized access. That is, someone is entering their area they should not. And next one is the decreased network performance, which means an intrusion detection or intrusion often causes a slowdown in their network performance. Next is the insecure data, which means modification indicates the integrity is compromised here. So this shows why we must have a strong security barrier at the network's entry point. So, and that's where the firewall will comes into a major role. So let's we move on to an ideate part, which means how do we protect this e-commerce system. So by using packet filtering firewall, which is a basic checks input output for checking the intrusions. Next we can go for proxy based firewall, which will act as a middleman to identify the intruders. Next we can go for dual homed gateway, which prevents the direct connection. And next we can go for the trusted operating system with some security policies which will pay us the highest protection. So among these, the strongest solution is a firewall to build on a trusted OS which is integrated with the security policy. So this is the solution which we are taken for this intrusion detection issue, which are faced by this e-commerce company. So let's move on how a firewall can be designed by using this trusted OS model. So trusted OS is based firewall provides the highest level of protection. So why? Because they enforce a strict control directly at the OS level. They ensure strong system level security, mandatory access control, advanced auditing and monitoring. So this means every action is checked, verified and logged. Nothing slips through unnoticed. So this is a main design of this trusted OS plus security policy. So the key features, let's look at the key security features that make trusted OS firewall more powerful. So when we look at the key features here, the points comes under our mandatory access control, role-based access control, secure kernel and trusted path, policy enforcement engine, auditing and login. So all this type of access control, we are moving with the complete access control mechanism. So these features together will create a system that attackers find extremely difficult to compromise. So let's move on to this architecture overview. So here's how the architecture of trusted OS for this firewall design works. So a central trusted OS will act as a decision maker. So every user request must pass through it. Security policies must be evaluated, and also we have to identify and we have to authenticate and authorize the user identity, and we have to notice the application behavior of the entire e-commerce application, and we have to restrict some of the operation, and we have to provide some permission for some allowed operation. So only the approved traffic can enter into the network. So the rejected traffic cannot be able to enter into this e-commerce company's network. So this prevents the unauthorized access and ensures every communication is legitimate and secure. So here, for those who want to explore this future, here is a useful link for Selenex, a well-known implementation of trusted OS security. So I have given the link here. You just try the demo to understand how policies and enforcement are works in the real world system. So why choose a trusted OS based firewall here? So because it provides the strongest protection from both internal and external attackers, and it prevents the misuse of the unauthorized privileges. This provides the complete policy security policy management of do's, clearly mention about the do's and don'ts on the company's networks, and it will reduces the systems complicated and compromises the risk. So this is why industries like banking, government, healthcare and large enterprises rely on this model. So where can this firewall design can be used? So especially this trusted OS plus security policy firewalls can be implemented on these areas. That is in order to prevent the malware attacks, and in military and defense communication, banking environment, cloud and data security center, e-commerce websites. So any system needing strict integrity and confidentiality, we can go for this trusted OS which is integrated with security policy to prevent the intrusions. So anywhere a trust is non-negotiable, right? So this firewall design becomes the backbone of this. So here I have provided a knowledge map which gives a consolidated view of everything we discussed from the beginning. So from understanding the intrusion to how the firewall design can secure the system in an end-to-end manner. So I hope you clearly understand about the firewall design, especially about the trusted OS integrated with security policy. So here is an activity for you to understand these topics in a much more clear manner. So the activity is mainly to analyze a suspicious network which is trying to identify, and they are trying to intrude in this network. So you can just go on to the demo link, and you can also try to work it out for this activity. So how an intrusion can be detected. So this activity will help you to understand why firewalls are essential and how access control will prevent the spoofing mechanism. So for that reason only I had given this activity. So I can just go through it later. So thank you all for watching. So firewalls are not just network tools. They are the digital guardians. A well-designed firewall today will prevent a major breach tomorrow. So if you found this video useful, so please go ahead with this, and so we'll see you on the next video. Stay secure and stay informed. Thank you all.